You gonna lay down? That's the noise she makes before she lays down. She's like, I'm deciding where to lay down, how to lay down. Okay, so I wanted to hop on and talk to you all about intuition and using your intuition when you are, where is the camera? Okay, I'm looking here. I'm like, where am I looking? Using your intuition when you're at the doctor's office or when you are making a decision, a medical decision. So 3 different cases have come across my desk in the past couple of weeks. And I wanted to share with you because it's so, so important to listen to our intuition. So we all have intuition, right? And it's this seemingly mysterious thing. And I don't know where it originates from. I'm sure some people that will watch this video do. Please comment, tell us all, enrich us, right? But intuition is the thing that we all have. We all have this skill of like, you know when someone's looking at you and you're like, you look and you look directly at the person who's looking at you. It's such a mysterious thing. You're like, how do you have this like internal compass that knows exactly where someone's staring at you? It's like, how did that even happen, right? So there's that. And then I would also prompt you with the question, have you heard a little delicate, soft voice that's like, go this way. Don't do it. I can name notable times in my life where my life had a direct and heavy consequence because I took an action in one direction when I had that voice and did not heed it. So I'm working with a woman. I am her medical advocate now. She was in a chiropractor's office and she had a bad feeling. She was like, something was telling me that it was off. And the person seemed really hurried, was not attentive to her. And she was like, do you realize that I have a slight injury to begin with? Are you sure this is the right protocol? And rather than trusting her instincts, and she said she really knew something was off, but she felt as though she grew up, you know, we're all taught to like listen to your doctor, be respectful, and, you know, do what they say ultimately. And she should have trusted her instincts and her intuition in that moment because her life has changed since. She had a severe neck injury, and I will put a link to her GoFundMe, which I'm helping her with, to help her raise money for the neck and the neck and brain trauma that she subsequently is going to have to live with and deal with because of that mistake that person made. Another woman, as soon as she was finished with an operation on her gut, she knew something was wrong. She was in the hospital for 3 more days recovering, and she was like, something's wrong, something's wrong, something's wrong. Please check what you did was right. Something is wrong. And when they were discharging her to go home, her temperature spiked, and they realized that there was a leak in the gut, and they had to put her right into like the ICU and figure out what was going on. So they had made a mistake. And then a good story is a friend of mine, not a client. She recently had this issue. I won't get into what it was. We don't know exactly what it was, but 3 different doctors gave her 3 different pieces of advice, and one of them was like, let's get you right in for a hysterectomy immediately. And she was like, well, let me get a couple different doctors' opinions. And with 3 completely different prognoses from 3 different doctors, she was like, I'm going to go home and do my own research and see if I can do some like natural medicine, some herbs, and find out what I need to find out with, you know, how the medical side can help me. So thankfully, she did not just walk in and trust. I'm not saying don't trust your doctor. I'm saying trust your intuition. If you know something's wrong, just like you're walking down an alley and you get a bad feeling, keep your wits about you, because your health, it's ultimately your responsibility. And I think we're taught to sort of put the responsibility in the hands of someone else. And just because they have a white coat on and went to school for 8 years doesn't mean they know everything. They may know more than you in some ways, but they do not know more about your body and what your body needs. And I'll just be completely honest, you don't even know that much about your own body. There's no way we can. Our body is this highly synchronized, intelligent thing, far beyond our own intelligence. And that's what's so fascinating with the work I'm doing now, Body Talk. The body's wisdom directs the course of healing. So myself, my own perspective, how much information, wealth, how much I can learn on this lifetime, it will never meet the same. I will never have the amount of intelligence my body has. And I will never know more about your body than you do, right? I might know scientifically, and I might be able to know different chemical reactions when you do certain things, but you will have a gut instinct that will be like, no, not today, not that direction. And if we're not nurturing that voice, we will sometimes import the voice of others. So the way I like to think about building intuition is to heed the voice. So just like any relationship in your life, if you honor it and you listen and you sort of invest in it and lean into it, it strengthens. And if you sort of ignore it and let it be for too long, it will ultimately go away. And your intuition will never totally go away, but it'll be so soft or you won't trust it. So every time we don't listen to it and don't trust it, we weaken the connection. Every time we listen, we're building a stronger connection to it. And you'll feel sometimes like we all will make little mistakes, but you'll realize that life is so much easier when you are listening to that directive. And it's just another resource and part of what I would call the human technology in this system of wisdom that we all have access to. So I just wanted to give you permission, because sometimes we don't give ourselves permission to listen to ourselves. And one of the most important places for you to do that is in your health. And yeah, if anyone's interested in a body talk session, if you want to try conscious-based healing, I'm totally open. I have sessions available. And if you just want to have a free consultation and ask me some questions about what you have going on, there's usually something that comes up or some way that I can help every person that I talk to or connect with. So I'd love to hear your take on intuition. If you've had any, even an injury that you had a feeling, you know what I mean? That you were like, I knew I shouldn't have gone that way on the ski slope or something like that, and then you got hurt. Isn't it wild? So I want to hear stories like this. I find it very fascinating. And then the crazy thing is the reward stories, the good stories, ultimately you never got hurt, right? So it's almost like they're not as dramatic of stories, but nonetheless, they're actually the more valuable ones where you heeded the call. And yeah, I'm just really even starting to now verbally say, even to clients that I don't consider sort of into this woo-woo stuff, which I'm so on the science and the woo, it's definitely in the middle for me between what you can prove and what maybe they're working to prove right now, is I'm just saying out loud, I just have a feeling about this. I have a gut feeling on this, that we should go this way and not that way. And I'm saying it out loud now without any, I don't care. If, you know what I mean? It's so much it's so much freer than friends and clients that I've had over the years that I don't think were appreciated that about me. And it doesn't matter to me anymore if you don't appreciate me. I actually don't care. I don't need you to appreciate me for me to appreciate what gifts I have that I've nurtured on this long path of my life now. It's my intuition is pretty keen. And every day now, I'm just the listening. It's it tells me. It's I don't think so. We're going to do that later. And then boom, a bit of information comes in 20 minutes later that is oh my God, if I had taken that action, I wouldn't have known this. Now I know this. So I know that's kind of a sort of broad example, but I think with the 3 examples I just gave you, it's really stinking crystal clear that we need to practice listening to our intuition when we're in the doctor's office. And, don't be afraid to be an advocate for your own independence when you're in that space, to ask for time, to ask for more information, to also mention the idea that mistakes are made all the time. Just reminding people that to be cautious and to be careful of you and for you, because honestly, if someone sees, I don't know how many patients some people see in a day, 40 people? I mean, it's very different. You have one body. You're the master of it. And if they're seeing, 40 patients in a day, there's a level of energy that's sort of fragmented or frayed at the end where can they really wrap their arms around you in totality, and that's what you need to make that type of decision. So I'll put the link. So Megan Dobson is the woman who just recently, almost a year ago now, actually, February, March, her accident happened, of 2020. Yeah, we're going to be raising some money for her. So even if you can help $5, $10, anything that you can do to support would be just magnanimous. It would be like monumental. It would be all big M words, magnificent, megatropolis. Just kidding. We can use the help. She just went out to Colorado to get this stem cell therapy, which she was accepted for, which I'm really excited about. And we went from, we're creating miracles here, people. We went from, she wasn't even going to fight this and lost the ability to work and all of this really crazy stuff, to we found her an awesome legal team out of Houston. And yeah, I feel like we're going to be able to see some miracles and protect the rest of her life. So I feel really good about that. So it's an amazing, it's just an amazing path of healing, and we all have our own very unique healing story. And let yours be beautiful, and let it be led from within. Okay, sending you all my love.